Hare Krishna. Welcome to the first session of Bhagavad Gita. We are going to discuss the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. This first chapter is divided into 4 sections. The first section is observation by Dhritarashtra, then observation by Duryodhana, then the blowing of various conch shells, and at last the observation, religious observation of Arjuna. Let's begin. If you see the last part of the introduction, the last page, you will see the disciplic succession which I was talking about in the previous session. Here you can see the 32 Acharyas beginning from Krishna, and the last 32nd Acharya is His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is the parampara which we have to approach to understand this transcendental science. Now you see, the very first shloka, the very first chapter and the very first word of the Bhagavad Gita, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre, Dharma Kshetra. Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsa, means he is asking, you can read the translation, what did my sons do when they reached the battle? Dharma Kshetre, the first word. Why Dhritarashtra said Dharma Kshetra? There is no set, Dharma has not yet established because war has not started. But already Kurukshetra is Dharma Kshetra. How? There is a long story behind. This is the place where earlier Lord Parshuram killed all the unworthy Kshatriya criminals. And because of the blood, there was pools of blood there, and because of killing of Parshuram, Dharma is already established in the field of Kurukshetra earlier. So already people come to this place as a place of pilgrimage. So the word used for Kurukshetra is Dharma Kshetra. You just see, each word of Bhagavad Gita is so profound. One word of the shloka has a reasoning behind, has a meaning behind, has a story behind. Then he says, next line you see, Mamaka Pandavaschaiva. Now, Mamaka means my children and Pandavaschaiva means Pandava's children. This shows the crooked mentality of Dhritarashtra. All the children belong to one dynasty. They are all brothers. But Dhritarashtra has differentiated my children and Pandava's children. This shows that Dhritarashtra does not consider his brother's children as his own children. See the crooked mentality. That's why he has used. And the last line you see, Kimakurvata Sanjaya. What did they do? Now, suppose someone goes to write an exam. Then you will ask, what did you do? Arey, you went for writing exam, you will write exam, no? But Dhritarashtra, in the same way, they have gone for battlefield to fight. But still, Dhritarashtra is asking to Sanjaya, what are they doing there? Why? Because Dhritarashtra is afraid that because of the influence of Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra is Dharma Kshetra, please understand, because of the influence of Dharma Kshetra, my children should not get influenced and should not stop fighting, because he knows that Dharma is on the side of Arjuna, because Lord Krishna is present at side. See, that's why he is asking, Kima Kurvata is afraid. They should not stop fighting. Are they fighting? Have they started fighting? Because he is afraid of the place. Because place has a potency. Spiritual place, Dharma Kshetra has a spiritual potency. Okay, so we will go further. Some important shlokas we are going to discuss. Other shlokas in a continuity you can read. Now, text number 3. You see the line, Tava Shishyena Dhimata. Duryodhana is saying to Dronacharya, ki see the army arranged by your disciple. Who is that? The head of the Pandavas army, the commander-in-chief of Pandavas army is Drishtadyumna, who is the son of Drupad. Now, Drupad had prayed in a yagna, a fire sacrifice, and he requested for a son to kill Dronacharya because they had enmity. Drupad and Dronacharya had enmity. So Drupad's son was born, this Drishtadyumna was born to kill Dronacharya. That was the purpose of his life. But still, Dronacharya was such a liberal Brahmana that he gave all the education, military education to Drishtadyumna. In spite of knowing that Drishtadyumna is going to use the same military education to kill Dronacharya. And today that day has come when Drishtadyumna is standing opposite to Dronacharya. So this shows the crooked mentality of Duryodhan, that in spite of Dronacharya being his guru, he is taunting Dronacharya that, see, your disciple has arranged Pandava's army in such a nice way. Okay, we'll move further. Let us come to 8th shloka. In 8th shloka, who are assembled in the side of Kauravas, Duryodhana is telling. And every word he has used has a meaning. It is said, there are personalities like yourself, Dronacharya. Now, in Kauravas army, Bhishma Pitama is the commander-in-chief. Dronacharya is not commander. But still, because he taunted Dronacharya, he may not feel bad. So again, he is taking first the name of Dronacharya to glorify him. See the diplomatic behavior of Duryodhana. Duryodhana sees the army from a diplomatic point of view. Then he says Bhishma, because Bhishma is the commander-in-chief and Bhishma should not feel bad. So he then used the word of Bhishma. Then he said Karna, very interesting. Karna is not present in the battlefield, but still he has used the word Karna because Karna has taken a vow that I will not enter till Bhishma Pitama is present, because that some problem was there. So he has purposefully used the word Karna because Karna has to come when Bhishma Pitama passes away. Then Kripa. Kripa means Kripacharya. Kripacharya's daughter, Kripacharya's sister Kripi was married to Dronacharya. So to make Dronacharya happy, he is using the word Kripacharya. Then Ashwathama. Ashwathama is not a very great warrior, but still he has used the word of Ashwathama because Ashwathama is the son of Dronacharya. Then Vikarna. Why he has used the word Vikarna? Because when Draupadi was being disrobed in the assembly in Hastinapur, out of 100 Kauravas, Vikarna was the only Kaurava who opposed that you are not doing good. So Duryodhan wants to make sure that Vikarna is on our side. So although Vikarna is not a very great warrior, he has used the word Vikarna, that yes, Vikarna is also there. Then text 10, he says, our side is protected by Bhishma and Pandava's side it is Bhima. Now Bhima is not commander-in-chief, Drishtadyumna is commander-in-chief. But still he has used the word Bhim because he wants to remind all the Kauravas party that it was Bhim who has taken a vow to kill all the 100 Kauravas. Bhim also took vow that he will tear apart the chest of Dushasan and he will drink the blood. Bhima also vowed to wash the hairs of Draupadi with blood of Dushasan. So Duryodhan knows if at all we are going to get killed, we will be killed by Bhima. That's why he has used the word here Bhima in text 10. We'll go further. Text 11. In text 10, Duryodhan glorified Bhishma that our strength is immeasurable because we are protected by Bhishma. So if one party is glorified, one person is glorified, Bhishma Pitama, although he is an old man, he is glorified. Other great warriors, Maharathis, Atirathis, Rathis, they are all different warriors who are present. They will feel bad. So in text 11, see the diplomatic behavior. He is telling, you must give full support to Bhishma. That, okay, Bhishma may be the commander-in-chief, but now he has got old, so you all should help him. So he is trying to bind everyone together. This is the diplomatic behavior of Duryodhana. Now in text 12, Bhishma is seeing all this, no, how diplomatically he's talking to Dronacharya, he's using different names, he's calling Bhishma ill names. So Bhishma is thinking, what you want? You want that we are all your side, no? I'll give you joy. So Bhishma just didn't talk and didn't say anything. He just took his conch shell and he blew his conch shells very loudly, giving Duryodhana joy. You can read the translation. What Duryodhana wanted to feel joy that yes, we are very powerful. So Bhishma doesn't want to indulge in all these diplomatic things. He just wanted to start fighting. So he just blew his conch shell. Now, from text 14, we will see there are different reasons. In the first chapter itself, that Pandavas' victory is already assured, fixed, they are going to win. The first reason is text 14, if you see the second line, Madhavaha. Madhava is their side. Madhava is on the side. Madhava means husband of Madhavi. Madhavi means Lakshmi. So Lakshmi means fortune. So already fortune is on the side of Arjuna, so their victory is assured. Point number 1. Second, in the same text 14, you see the word Divyam Shankho. The conch shell of Arjuna and Krishna are said to be Divya, whereas Bhishma's Shankha is not said to be Divya. So they have transcendental conch shells. Then next, you see in the text 19, second line, Hridayani Vyadarayat. When they blew their conch shells, when Pandavas blew their conch shells, Kaurava's side, their heart got trembled. Hridayani Vyadarayat. That means they are already afraid. So victory of Pandavas is assured. And last reason, but not the least, in text 20, first line, last word you see, Kapidvajaha. The flag of Arjuna's chariot is marked with Hanumanji. Now, why Hanumanji? There is a story behind. When before the battlefield, when this war was about to begin, all the Pandavas went to gain different weapons. So when Arjuna went for a severe austerity to gain weapons, Pashupatastra from Lord Shiva, all the Pandavas, other 4 Pandavas thought, let us go for a pilgrimage. So they all went to Badrinath. Near Badrinath, there is a lake which flows in form of a river further called the Alaknanda river. There were silver lotuses flowing in the river. Draupadi got very fascinated. He requested the most powerful husband, Bhima, can you please bring some lotuses? Bhima told, oh, I will see the origin of the lotuses. So Bhima went in the opposite direction from where lotuses were coming, and he saw that it is coming from a stream in between 2 hills. And there was a monkey sitting there. And Bhima's way was obstructed by the tail of the monkey. Then Bhima said to the monkey, hey monkey, remove your tail. Then monkey said, you remove on your own? I heard you have power of 10,000 elephants. You remove on your own? So he went and tried to pull, tried to lift. Tail is not moving. He tried hard. For many attempts he did not able to move. Then the monkey started laughing, and the monkey came in real form. It was Hanumanji. And Hanumanji blessed that I am very happy with your devotional practices, and in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, I will come and I will sit on the chariot of Arjuna. One doubt should arise. Why on the battlefield? You became happy with Bhima, then why you are going on the battlefield of, in the battlefield you are going on the chariot of Arjuna? Because Hanumanji's heart is with Lord Rama. And where is Lord Rama? Not on the chariot of Bhima, but on the chariot of Arjuna in the form of Lord Krishna. So this is the 4th reason, Kapidvajaha. Now, one important, interesting point is to see is, in text 21, you see Yodhu Kaman. Arjuna is saying, I want to see, O Krishna, who has come to fight with me. But if you go further and you see text 28, he says, Swajanam. They are all my relatives. He wanted to see who are their enemies. But after a few shlokas, what he is seeing? Swajana, my own friend, my own relatives. Now, you see, in text 25, Krishna addresses Arjuna as Partha. Now, very interesting, just try to hear attentively. Krishna already knows that Arjuna is going to see his relatives. Although he is planning to go and see enemies, Arjuna is not going to see enemies there. He is going to see his own friends and relatives. Krishna, being already knowing the mind of Arjuna, he said, addressed Arjuna as Partha. Partha means son of Pritha. Pritha means Kunti Maharani. Kunti Maharani is sister of Vasudev, and Vasudev's son is Krishna. So Krishna is telling, you are going to see relatives there. I want to inform that I am your brother. I am your first relative. So don't go and see your relatives there. First you should listen to me, because I am your first relative. So Krishna will address Arjuna by different names, Dhananjaya, Partha, and there is a reason why he is addressed there. In the same way, Arjuna will also address Krishna with different names. Madhusudana, Achyuta, there is a reason. You see, in text 21, first line, last word, he said, Arjuna said to Krishna by the name Achyuta. Achyuta means fallible, and Achyuta means one who never falls down. Why he is used? He is telling in that shloka that please drive the chariot. Now Arjuna's both hands will be used in fighting, no? In arrow and bow holding, and there will be a lot of sound. You cannot tell by shouting that which side you have to take the chariot. So how you have to tell? When you are sitting on the chariot, if you have seen one who handles elephant, with his both legs, he directs the elephant which side to go. So in the same way, Arjuna, with the help of his legs, he has to direct Lord Krishna. So Arjuna is telling, although I have to touch my leg to the Lord, my Lord, you will not fall down by becoming my chariot driver. You will always remain infallible. That's why he has used the word Achyuta. Just see how deep the meanings are. And then text 29, from here when he sees his relatives, the last section starts that Arjuna sees from a religious point of view, and he first says in the second line, you see, Gandivam Sramsate. Gandivam is the name of the bow of Arjuna, and he is telling, oh Krishna, by seeing relatives, my bow is falling. Now there is a story behind that. When the war was happening, once Yudhishthira got badly injured by Karna, and he was so badly injured that he has to come back to the camp, resting camp. When Arjuna heard that his brother is badly injured, he wanted to go and see. So Arjuna left the battle in between and went to see Yudhishthira. And it is Kshatriya principle that either you win or you lose and then you come out of the battlefield, otherwise you don't come just in between. But Arjuna came. So when Arjuna came, Yudhishthira thought that we have already won. So Arjuna said, no, we are not. I wanted to. So Yudhishthira said, you useless fellow, why you come in between? Why are you breaking Kshatriya principles? This Gandivam, this your bow is of no use. You throw it off. Then Arjuna became so angry. You are talking about my favorite bow, Gandiva. I will kill you. Like that, no? Kshatriyas, hot blood. This fight started. And the Lord Krishna came immediately and cooled them down. And then, Arjuna said, oh, what to do? I taken an oath to kill my brother. Then Krishna gave a solution. Krishna said that if you disrespect your elders, it is as good as killing them. So Arjuna, for namesake, he disrespected Yudhishthira Maharaj, and in this way his oath was fulfilled, and then he begged his pardon. So what I am trying to say from this story, that Gandiva was so dear to Arjuna that when Yudhishthira Maharaj used one word, that throw it off, he became so angry that he wanted to kill. And that same Gandiva is falling down from the hands of Arjuna. Now you can understand what is the situation, what is the tensed situation Arjuna is going through. And then he gives different reasons why he doesn't want to fight. In text 27, it is said he has overcome with compassion because his devotee heart. He is overcome with compassion. Then in text 36, he is afraid of sins. Here it is explained. Then further you see third reason, text 39, he explains the destruction of dynasty, that when the gents will be killed, all ladies will remain, the dynasties will be destroyed, and the crooked people in the society, they will try to rape the women, and unwanted children will take birth, and whole society will be in chaos. That's how Arjuna gives these different 4 to 5 reasons why he doesn't want to fight. And ultimately, if you will see the last shlokas, he gives up his bow and arrow and he just sits on a chariot and he says, I don't want to fight. You see how Duryodhana was seeing from a diplomatic point of view and Arjuna is seeing from a religious point of view. This shows the kind-hearted feature of Arjuna. But ultimately, he doesn't want to fight. In the same way, in our life, we may get different situations when we get perplexed, we get confused, we are not able to make decisions what to do, what not to do. In that place, Bhagavad Gita will be helpful. Now, he doesn't want to fight, he has left everything, he has just sat down, his bow has fallen, and you see, next, Bhagavad Gita ends, 18th chapter, 72 shloka. Now Krishna is asking, are you okay now? And 73 shloka, Arjuna replies, Nashtamoha smritir labdva tvat prasadatmayachyuta. See what Arjuna is saying? My dear Krishna, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy, and I am free from doubt and I am prepared to fight. So this is the Bhagavad Gita. The beginning and the conclusion. That was the pathetic situation of Arjuna, indecisive, overcome with compassion, seeing his relatives, not able to do his duty, and at the end, he is ready to do his duty, regained his memory with full force, with full enthusiasm. So what is that? Lord Krishna has explained that Arjuna's situation is completely changed, is explained in this middle part of the Bhagavad Gita. So here ends the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. If we will apply the same principles in our life, we will also be guided by Lord Krishna. Don't think that you have to be personally guided by Krishna. Whatever instructions Lord Krishna gave to Arjuna are all present with us. What we have to do? We have to take the position of a good disciple. We have to take the position of Arjuna. And then you will see how Lord Krishna will explain one by one the principles, the life principles. And that same life principles, if we will apply little by little in our day-to-day activities, in our consciousness, you will see a dramatic change. Miracles will happen in your life and you will come out to be a completely transformed personality. So I hope you understood this session. If you have any doubts, any queries, you can always approach us. We will come again with another session on next chapter. Till then, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Understand what you learned from this chapter by filling a simple form whose link is given in the description. It will make you eligible for receiving the certificate. You can also type all the questions which you have in the same form and we'll answer them through email. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss any updates.